Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Right, we are part two of designing appropriate parking. Okay, so we're going to continue that process. Um, we already have a reference for the minimum internal space requirements for a single covered car park. Okay, 6 meters long by 3.5 meters wide. Okay, and we're going to use a default brick veneer wall in this template to construct the front, side and rear walls of the garage. Right. Now, before we can do this, we need to create a new level for those garage walls to constrain to. Okay, and this level will become the ceiling for the entire building. Right. So first things first, we need to find out what the minimum room heights are so that we can create the right level. Okay, so we're going to do that next. So please also don't forget, like, subscribe, share the channel so I can keep helping building design students and professionals. Okay, in the NCC, the National Construction Code, there is a section in the housing provisions which talks about the heights of rooms and other spaces. Okay, so these are the minimum clear heights, or, distances that you must have. Okay, so really it's split up into two types of rooms. We have what are called habitable rooms. Okay, so bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, rumpus rooms. These are spaces that you would sit in and socialize and utilize for extended periods of time. Okay, so they have a minimum ceiling height of 2.4 meters. Okay, the other spaces are called non-habitable. Okay, um, kitchens, corridors, and included in there are garages and car parking areas. Okay, so they have a minimum ceiling height of 2.1 meters because it's considered that you may not occupy those spaces for quite as long. Okay, um, but what we're going to do for this project is we're just going to utilize this number here, the 2.4 meters. Okay, it's just going to be easier for us. It's going to be a simpler design. And what we are going to do is we're going to add 40 millimeters to this number, the 2.4 meters, to account for ceiling linings and floor linings, okay, like carpet or tiles or things like that. Because this 2.4 meters has to be the minimum clearance, okay, it can't be less than that. So, to add levels, we've got to go into an elevation. Yes, I'm going to save that project. Okay, so in our project we have the ground floor. That's good. Right, I'm going to create a new level now. So I'm going to go architecture, datum, level, and I'm just going to draw roughly a line. So left click, right click there. Okay, and what this does is, that's the start of our level. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change its name straight away. So this is going to be ceiling. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the level line here, find a temporary dimension, there it is there, and I'm going to change that to 2440. Remember, the 40 millimeters is going to be for about 20 millimeters for flooring and about 20 millimeters for ceiling lining. Gives us plenty of room to move. But ultimately the finished ceiling height will be 2.4 meters, or at least 2.4 meters. Now, if we have a look at this level that we created, you'll see that this is black, okay, and this one's blue. If I look in my project browser, the ceiling level is not here yet, okay, so I need to go to do this, to make them visible. I need to go view, plan views, floor plan. And what we need to do is tell Revit that this new level that we've created, we want that to be a floor plan in our browser. So there it is there. This is the floor plan that we've just created. It's a ceiling, and I just need to go OK. It'll bounce back to the floor plan itself, which I don't need. But you'll see now the tag for that level is blue, like the ground floor. And you'll see now in our project browser that the ceiling plan is now there for us. Okay, so that's something you have to do with every new level in Revit. Okay, so now that we have a constraint, we can now build our wall. Okay, and a couple of little things we're going to do here. So one is we're going to change in our bottom left hand corner of our viewport, we have detail level, and at the moment it's coarse, which click on that little icon there and change that to fine. And what that's going to do is it's going to let us see the detail of the wall that we are building. It's going to be important because we want the brick on the outside. Now we can start building our wall. Yeah. So just going to use this one here, the Brick Veneer 250. Base constraint, ground floor for now. And the top constraint is going to be the ceiling. Okay, so the bottom of the floor is going to be here, the top of it is going to be at the ceiling. So when you're building walls, you're just going to make sure a couple of things. You get your constraints right, but also your location line. Now for this one here, instead of drawing the wall from the center line, we're going to draw it from the finish face exterior. Okay, and I'm going to work in a clockwise direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to left click. There's a bit of an estimate there. Okay, and I'm going to drag my wall down until I find my boundary. Yeah. Just going to stop the drawing there. So this was important. We have the brick on the outside. So this is what brick veneer means. The brick is the veneer, that's the cladding. And we have an air gap and we have a timber frame in there. Okay. If I had drawn it the other way, anti-clockwise, I would have drawn the face in the wrong place. Right. So let's just continue that. So from that point there, I'm going to bring it across to the front of our thing, and we're going to bring it to there. Okay. So this is our front face brick, so that's what the garage door is going to go into. This at the moment will be a brick wall on boundary. Okay. And this is our rear wall. Now, we have here a temporary dimension of 5.5 meters from timber frame to timber frame. Okay, that's not long enough. We need at least 6 meters, but we actually need to add 20 mil because we would normally have plaster on the inside. And in fact, I'll just retract that a little bit. Because this is a 250 wall already, we can actually just get away with this being 6 meters. And I will explain in another video. Okay, so there we have it. We have, if we jump into 3D, there's our front wall, there's our wall on boundary, and there's a rear wall, all brick veneer. Okay, have a look at the ground floor plan. Probably the one thing we do need to double check there, see that's a little bit messy. We will eventually check what this dimension is here for the internal line of the building, but we will leave it for there because we've had our 10 minutes and we will continue later on. Until then, we'll see you then.